Well, this week I've got James Sutherland with me. I want to do some artist win sort of episodes where I just chat to the artist about a song they've recorded recently, released, and just some cool things that they're doing around being an artist. And James is one of those. So he's got a new track called Only Thing that has recently come out. So you can stream that on Spotify. I'll put some links and stuff later on. But welcome along. Thanks for being my guinea pig and doing artist wins with me.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
No worries. So we're going to look at James' song, have a look at some of the production that went into it, and then we're just going to chat with James a little bit about the songwriting process, how you're going about promotion, and maybe even a bit about the recording process and how that was maybe different from what you expected, or I don't know. Hopefully this will help you if you are an artist that kind of wants to put out a single and just wants to know a bit about it, because I can talk about it all day, but from an actual artist, I think might be super helpful. And to boot, it's a cool song, and I think you'll enjoy the little breakdown that we do of it.
Should be good.
So here's the project here. So what was the songwriting process for this? Was it one of those ones that came pretty quickly, or had you been sitting on it for a while?
Well, first I had the melody written. As soon as I got one lyric, the rest kind of fell into place with the chorus, and I kind of had the chorus in my notes for maybe a month, and then I came back to it and it kind of flowed pretty quickly. It was probably the first song that I've ever properly written start to finish and actually felt good about it. Sat back and been like this is a good song.
I like this, yeah. So that's interesting. You wrote your melody, so you didn't write the lyrics and the melody together. So how long was it were you kind of sitting on the melody, did you say, before the lyrics? Did you have fake throwaway lyrics you had in there, or was it just you hummed a melody?
I think I had the first lyric of the chorus was set in stone. That was how I built it.
Yeah.
But I sat on the melody for it was probably late at night in my room. I was just leaning back in my chair, just fiddling with melodies, and then I found that and I recorded it in voice memos on my phone.
Yeah.
Wrote down one melody, the first lyric, and then went to bed and finished it the next day.
Cool.
So
that's good.
Yeah, it was good.
So let's have a listen how Only Thing by James Sutherland.
Holding your hand, it's the only thing that gets me through the day. My hands on your way, I'll never complain. It's something that you'll never hear me say.
Sounds cool. One thing that I love when you came in the studio, and we were kind of talking about what your vision for the song was, and you said you'd love to be able to make people cry.
Yeah, I think it's the main reason I do music. It's because it's about more than, it can be about more than yourself and wanting to be famous or trying to make a career. It can really bring people together, and it can make beautiful moments in everything.
Yeah.
So I just think to write a song that is I'd say that song is a call to action to really say to someone how you truly feel. No beating around the bush or anything.
Yeah.
Just to really tell someone how you feel. And at the end of the day, this is how I feel.
Yeah.
And that's what that song's about.
Yeah, I love that. And I think I talk about that often. It's about connecting with people. That's the main, that's what's going to keep people coming back is if they can hear your song, relate to it, connect to it. And even though it's going to be a different girl or a different boy that they're kind of talking about, it's the same. It's that same feeling.
Yeah.
And I think you've done a good job. I mean,
Thanks.
Did you say your mum cried when she heard it the first time?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
she did.
Nailed. Brief nailed. Good stuff, man. So let's break down some of these instruments. It's made up of, I think your kind of acoustic guitar riff, I'll solo those here, is kind of what the song is shaped around. So that's the chorus chords, and then the verse ones. Similar, it's the same rhythm, just different chords over that bit.
Different root notes, I'd say.
Yeah.
Same melodic line.
I remember when we were doing we were trying to figure out what actually chords you were playing, because it's kind of like a riff.
Yeah.
We sat down at the piano, we sat down at the guitar for ages trying to figure it out. Because they're kind of you're playing thirds, but it just didn't sound right to put real chords in. But we figured it out, I think. Either that or it sounds weird and we're just used to it. I don't know. Cool. So on that, we built probably the string section I always struggle saying string section,
String section.
which sounds like there. So there's a cello, violin, and viola in there. And I reckon that kind of added to that emotion that you were going for with the,
Yeah,
I don't know, there's something really emotive about strings, so that just worked really naturally in there. Then you chuck the second guitar on, pretty subtle, and then by the end they were... I think they're still pretty subtle because there was a lot happening by the end, which we'll hear once we get through all of it. From there we added on bass. Bass moved around a little bit. It was pretty rhythmic, pretty kind of root notey, rather than actually being a bass line. Sounded good, plenty of sub in that. So this guitar line we mucked around with a bit. This might be matching your acoustic guitar line, but with a different tone. Highlighting those notes there. Then we added on the drum kit, which in this last bit sounded cool. It's kind of like a marching sort of sound with that really big dunk dunk, same as the bass guitar was doing. And that added to the dynamic. So this was kind of like a building song rather than being like a verse, chorus. It was kind of like a steady build and really to the climax at the end there. So that drum, that sort of marching drum kind of helped to give that building feel without being like a big groove. If you went in, we could have gone into a big beat there, but then it kind of would have resolved. So I think that marching thing meant that it was always kind of climbing even when we got to the end there. And then I always like to put in like these sort of rises going into the chorus here. So that with all the instruments, and we'll just leave the vocals muted for a second. So then this is leading into that last chorus there with kind of everything in. Sounds cool. And then I reckon one thing that you've really got going for is just the tone of your voice, and particularly because you bring that in really quietly at the start. So we play this first verse here.
Darling, you're so kind to the ones around you. I'm so lucky that you love me too.
Sounds cool. And then by the last chorus, when you were kind of ripping in.
Oh no, now kissing your lips, holding your hand, it's the only thing that gets me through the night. My hands on your way, I'll never complain. It's something that you'll never.
Sounds awesome. I like the song, man. So it's out now everywhere. Spotify.
Yep.
Got a video for it. I don't know if that's come out yet. We filmed a video for it.
Yeah, I think soon.
Depends when this has come out, to whether the videos come out as well.
Depends.
Can we chat a bit about like the recording process? Because I know you, when you reached out to me, you kind of been mucking around with this at home, and you had a really good demo from home, but you kind of wanted to go next level. So I guess you might have had some expectations around what a studio would be or recording.
Yeah,
that sort of thing. So.
I never had an expectation to come into a studio like this. So I've done a lot of home recordings. A couple of years ago, one of my sister's friends had to do some recording, and that was all using like the same stuff I was.
Yeah.
And I bought that equipment to do that. I sat back and listened at the end, and it just wasn't like you listen to a song on your phone, and then you listen to the demo that I had, and you could just tell it just didn't sit right.
Yeah.
There was just stuff in it that I wanted to add but couldn't.
Yeah.
It was awesome to get into a proper studio and have it done properly, especially when you're putting it out there to everyone.
Yeah.
Like, you want it to be good.
And I think you've got that. Like, you've got a really pro sound now. I remember that first session when you came in, because you brought the USB with the files on it, and I thought that session was just going to be a mixing session where we kind of just mix the stuff that you recorded at home, but we ended up just retracking everything pretty much that day. And
I
we
just
added
sang and played guitar.
Oh, it's based around the guitar. Yeah, so I put the strings in after, I put the drums in after. We did change a few things. You want to chat a bit about like just that, I call it pre-production or arrangements where you kind of like, once you hear the song, then you can start to change things.
Yeah.
Do you remember many of the things that were there that maybe aren't now or that we added?
I think the song structure was fairly similar, except for that the first chorus was kind of split in half.
Yeah.
Which I think is good because it takes time off the length of the song. Like, people don't want to sit through, say, 4.5 minutes. Well, most people don't want to sit through that. So it's good to kind of condense it down, get to the point.
So you had a long chorus. So the first chorus we just made half. So we only gave away half the lyrics.
Yeah.
Which I thought was also cool because you're like, your first half of your chorus, he's kind of talking about how much he loves her. And then the second half, she answers back and says that she loves you too. So I thought that was cool to leave that till later where you kind of didn't know, like it didn't resolve for further on down the track, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Did you have a bridge?
I don't think so. I didn't really write a bridge. I liked that kind of how you said before, where it just slowly climbs up. And I feel like a bridge, well, the way it was written would kind of impact that. It would kind of be up and up and up. And then I'm kind of glad that it kind of sits, goes into pre-chorus, chorus again to keep building.
So you did put a break, which is kind of musically is kind of a bridge in that it changes. It did change up the dynamics a little bit, but you didn't write extra lyrics. You just kind of used the tag.
Yeah, I think it just sat right.
Yeah.
With myself that it just get to the point, especially by the end of the song.
Yeah, nice. I think, it's a cool track. I think it will get, like, it should get into some playlists and stuff, I think, because it's...
Hopefully.
It's like I don't like the word consumable, but it is. It's like a consumable sort of, you can listen to it. It's good. You can stick it on in the background. If you really want to get stuck in the lyrics, you could hear, like, the story behind it. Track, I also want to talk about your kind of approach to marketing or promoting it, because I think you've just been super ruthless, like on your Instagram. You've always got a new story about something. So is that something that you gave much planning to, or you just kind of really want people to hear it? So
I think if you look up any tips on how to grow followings organically and stuff like that, it's pretty like simple stuff like hashtags, like use your 30 hashtags and just 30 max. 30 max. I don't like to go near there now because I've had a bad experience with getting shadow banned and stuff like that. So I put like 25. That's me personally. I'm just a little bit paranoid.
So what's the deal with too many hashtags? Instagrammers don't like it.
You are not allowed to do any more than 30. Like it'll actually physically stop you.
Okay.
And that's the max you can do.
Yeah.
So like that's increasing your maximum reach.
Yeah.
And just looking at your insights when people are most active or good times to post and stuff like that, they tell you a lot. It's actually like it's good to see that sort of stuff.
So you're just Googling this to find out this sort of stuff, or have you got people that are actually helping you learn this?
You just look around online, you see tips, you look at people in your niche, their accounts, so other musicians like myself who don't have millions of followers, you see what they're doing. They're posting like at least once or twice every 2 days.
Yeah.
They're using their hashtags, they're putting up stories, they're connecting with people.
Yeah.
Replying to every comment and stuff. And from there, like if you have good music out, if you're active on Instagram, people, like with all the people in the world, there's going to be a certain amount of people that love your music and want to see what you do on Instagram. So
that's cool. I think what I really like about James's approach is that, like for me, if I'm trying to promote something, like if I'm doing my personal YouTube channel or something, I'll put a couple of posts up and then I feel like I can't, like people are done. They don't want to hear. But you just seem to put stuff up every day. And even if it's like recycled stuff and it's just like shamelessly put it up. So I think the fear is from us that people will start unsubscribing or unfollowing if they're just getting bombarded with like, have you noticed anybody bouncing or telling you to stop or anything like that? Or has it just been growth?
Not yet. It's been growth. It does bounce. Like you do lose people, which I don't think is a bad thing. Because if you lose a follower, they're not going to come to your gig, buy your merch, listen to your music. So there's no point.
Anyway,
Yeah, so I wouldn't take it personally if someone unfollowed you, just be like, well...
They're not the audience.
Exactly. I do see constant growth.
Yeah.
I haven't had any comments, but I have been recycling because I switched Instagram account, so I've recycled that. But towards the end of promoting this song, so it's out, still promoting with like something different, like a music video or an acoustic video, and then this podcast now. It's good to get good quality photos. So if you do a photo shoot.
And you did that, right? You went out with them. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did a photo shoot and I got at least like 30 sample photos, and I'll just use them. And then altogether they create a really good aesthetic. Like really crisp images, look good. You put a caption in that's like, I'm doing this, I'm playing here, this is out.
Yeah.
Use your hashtags and people will follow you, if it's decent. Also not caring what anybody thinks, because people can always be like, oh, once every 2 days is too much.
Yeah.
But you see proper Instagram accounts, they're posting possibly twice a day.
Yeah.
I think.
And that's what, looking at your account, that's what I really like about it. It's obviously you've got to the point where you don't care about the negativity. You love what you're doing. And people that want to be on board will be.
Yeah.
And you kind of are happy to dump the rest.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's awesome. No, that's cool. If you want to learn about Instagram and just how to do it well, I reckon check out James' account, James Sutherland's account. Is your handle easy for the podcast listeners? Is it just James Sutherland?
James Sutherland Music _, to be exact. But it should come up if you put James
underscore
Sutherland
at the end of it?
Just one underscore at the end.
Does that mean there's another James Sutherland Music?
No, that's not. Okay. Oh, they're like, I don't know. I didn't search. I just tried to put a username in.
So Instagram.com/James Sutherland Music _.
That's it.
If you're on YouTube, there's a link below. But just check that out. One, you should follow him because his music's cool. And we're going to demo some other songs when we finish filming here. So we just got some more in the pipeline. We're going to start the pre-production of that. Only Thing is out and it's sounding great. But yeah, honestly, his Instagram is killing it. So go and check that out and just steal all his ideas. Are you cool with that?
Well, I stole mine. You look at other accounts that you like, other people in your niche, whatever.
Yeah.
And just see what they're doing.
100%. If it's working, then do it.
Definitely.
It's fun. So I think that's about it. Thanks for hanging out with us today and just
no worries.
I think people will get a lot out of just looking at how your songs come together, hearing a bit of your story, and I really appreciate you coming in.
No worries.
So that's about it. I do short episodes here every week on the podcast or on YouTube, just talking about going from musician to artist, covering things like artist branding, which is what we were talking about then, recording, songwriting, getting more live gigs, and promotion, which is all the things we need to do to be independent artists and to actually just level up and kind of make a bit of money off our music, but ultimately be able to just do music because we want to. Yep. We don't want to work another job and have to fit music in. We just want to be artists.
Yep.
So definitely. That's awesome. Subscribe if you haven't. Like this video. Give it a share. Jump on James' Spotify. There's, again, links below. You can just search James Sutherland, Only Thing. That'd be awesome. Make some music this week, and we'll talk again soon.